The just concluded second edition of the Global African Diaspora Symposium, tagged GADS Abuja 2023, still echoes sweetly. On today's episode, we bring you the plenary, the culture, the music, and the dance. It is simply unmissable. We also have our health tips segment with the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas. And of course, we do not forget our Diasporan of the Week. Please stay with your favorite program, The Diaspora, and I'm your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. Welcome back. Now let's take a listen to the Secretary General of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States, OACPS, as well as other distinguished speakers.
Let me, first of all, thank the government and people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the warm welcome extended to all delegations since their arrival. My special thanks go to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, whose unwavering support to the diaspora has enabled us to bring together participants from around the world and strengthen the ties between our institutions, our countries, and our peoples. I also salute the members of the diaspora who are being honored today and who, because of their dynamism, constitute a living force the OACPS is now committed to supporting. The OACPS brings together 79 member states spread over 3 continents. It brings together a population of more than 1.3 billion people, whose wealth and diversity constitute a real catalyst for development and cooperation among our member states. The organization's support to its members and partners includes promoting the participation of migrants in sustainable development, thus accompanying efforts to strengthen impact of human mobility, especially its positive impact on societies and development. The OACPS intends to contribute on advancing the priority areas of the Agenda 2030 with the United Nations and the Agenda 2063 of the African Union. Economy, social development, environment and climate, health, education and culture are all areas in which the diaspora has shown its ability to contribute to the improvement and lives of our peoples.
The identity of diaspora is very much derived from how closely it is connected to its roots. Here too, our efforts have been to encourage easier exposure to Indian culture and traditions abroad. Most of our embassies do propagate yoga and others, and Indian High Commission here has also started yoga. I invite all my Nigerian friends to take part in it. It's free of cost. The youth living abroad today have more opportunities than before to stay connected. Our cooperation in diaspora matters between India and Nigeria has grown stronger. We had a delegation from Nigeria visit India in January 2023 to attend the diaspora event organized at Indore, Madhya Pradesh. They also interacted with their Indian counterparts. It is satisfying to note that both the countries engaged their respective diaspora in similar fashion and with almost similar number of outreach activities that we have, which provides us an opportunity for us to exchange experiences and to learn from each other. I wish this event, the Global Diaspora Symposium 2023, a success, and also want to reiterate that India would continue to cooperate with NIDCOM and the Nigerian agencies in fostering closer bilateral relations. Thank you very much.
It's no longer news the role diaspora contributions play to development strategies, reducing poverty, and economic growth. And we've already heard today about the fact that diasporas contribute almost 100 billion two economies in Africa, of which Nigeria comes second. It's also equally impressive what the financial growth has been, going from 37 billion in 2010 to 96 billion in 2021. And we know, of course, that the contribution goes beyond statistics and that members of the African diaspora share a common vision and commitment to Africa's development, very much in line with the vision Honorable Abike Dabiri mentioned earlier in her remarks. And I think we're all part of that vision, and that's why we're here today. Now, for IOM, the UN Migration Agency, you can imagine that we are heavily, heavily involved with the diaspora. And we often play a convening role in bringing diaspora together with governments, with civil society, and work very hard to ensure that the contributions of the diaspora contribute to the Sustainable Development Agenda, the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly and Regular Migration, the African Union's Agenda 2030, and the Dublin Declaration of 2022. So for IOM, diaspora is at our heart, and we've been working with member states and partners to find a way to collaborate more systematically where diaspora can access the resources, the networks, and partnerships to contribute to sustainable development.
Together, we are bigger than a color on a map. Come, let's build the Africa of our dreams. There will be no me without you. Come, my brother. Come, my father. Come, my ancestors and my sister. Let's make our Africa great again.
On behalf of ECOWAS, to express our profound gratitude to His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the government of Nigeria, and all the organizers for inviting ECOWAS to this important gathering. The theme of the symposium, Building Stronger Connections Between Africa and Global Diaspora, is pertinent in view of the contributions of the diaspora to global security, stability, and development. ECOWAS recognizes that members of the diaspora, both at individual and collective levels, are important actors in our integration and development projects. For this reason, there is need for continuous evaluation of the extant policies and regulations for enhanced diaspora engagement. I therefore call on these participants to this important conference to help us move from business as usual to a more concrete and actionable diaspora strategy or strategies that will serve both the members of the diaspora and Africa, the homeland. Let me explain myself. The African Union considers the diaspora as the sixth region of the continent, and a number of continental initiatives have been drawn. Regional blocs, too, would tell you they have diaspora initiatives. For example, ECOWAS has a regional migration policy which outlines strategies to support diaspora and increase the role played by the diaspora in fostering development in communities of origin.
The continuous development of Africa requires the support and participation of those in the continent and our diaspora who are key players in the global arena. The federal government of Nigeria, on its part, as always, will continue to encourage and engage with the diaspora through institutions such as the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM,
the one-stop agency for all diaspora issues in Nigeria. Let me reiterate the commitment and support of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for diaspora-related programs. This is premised on the resource, talents, skills, and global exposure of the African diaspora that, when harnessed, can be catalyzed for the accelerated development of Africa.
As we work towards a more integrated and prosperous Africa, we must recognize the importance of the diaspora community and encourage them to take an active role in the development of our continent. This is very critical to ensuring that diaspora resources and expertise are harnessed for the benefit of Africa and that the diaspora community is fully engaged in our continent's transformation agenda. The symposium provides a unique opportunity for stakeholders to exchange ideas, share experiences, and explore innovative solutions for diaspora integration and sustainable development in Africa. As we engage in these discussions, let us remain mindful of the enormous potential of the diaspora to contribute to Africa's development and redouble our efforts to harness this potential for the greater good of Africa.
Mama Diaspora, my dear sister, Dr. Abike, you couldn't have stated it more succinctly. We need to empower the diaspora and harness the benefits that our beautiful cities on the continent present. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, it is imperative that we empower the young people living within and outside the continent, for they form Africa's democratic bulge. This is essential. The youth demand a hearing. They demand policies that shape their prospect. They have a stake in the future.
We express our sincere appreciation to President Buhari for giving us a Diaspora Center of Excellence. It's long overdue. And may we please give him a round of applause. We deserve this Center of Excellence to shape our future.
Ha! Not so fast. Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures.
Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down.
Do you have a job where you're going to?
No, but someone is arranging, Listen, Alinko. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. You know, I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alinko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
Now to our health tips with the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, ANPA.
I'd like to talk today a little bit about anemia, which is a common disorder that affects populations worldwide. Anemia is an illness that occurs when there's a decreased amount of red blood cells, which is the blood that is circulating in the body. It could be due to a number of factors. Number one, loss of blood. For instance, if you had surgery or you're in a motor accident and you're losing a large amount of blood. Number two, it could be because you are not producing enough blood. The blood cells are produced in the bone marrow, and if for any reason you're not producing enough blood, that could also cause a decreased blood count. Number three, it could be because you're also having situations where the blood is being broken down. Another cause of anemia is a decreased production of blood due to the lack of iron. And iron deficiency anemia is a very common cause of anemia worldwide. Anemia could be mild if the blood count, also called the hemoglobin, is 10 milligrams per deciliter. It could be moderate if it's 7 to 9 milligrams per deciliter, and it could be severe if it's less than 7 milligrams per deciliter. Anemia causes a lot of symptoms such as being tired, fatigued, sometimes having shortness of breath, and in some occasions having what may be considered irregular heartbeat or palpitations. And all of these have one feel not like their usual self, and maybe also feel generally ill and unable to perform activities of daily living, including your normal work and things you do on a regular basis. It's important to diagnose anemia because to be able to treat it, you have to focus on the cause. And the cause could be from a lack of iron as described, which is very common, or things like sickle cell where you're having your blood break down during a crisis, or a lack of folic acid or vitamin B12. Because iron deficiency is relatively common, especially in vulnerable populations like children, pregnant and nursing mothers, young women who have very heavy periods, it's important to understand that the treatment involves replacing the iron. This iron could be replaced by supplements, as in iron pills or liquid iron. Iron sometimes could give you a decreased abdominal pain or some cramping in the abdomen, GI symptoms. So it's important to actually increase the iron-rich foods, which has a better tolerated source of iron. Iron-rich foods include things like green leafy vegetables, meat, legumes, tofu, fruits and vegetables, eggs, and things like beans, broccoli, These are all very rich in iron. It's also important that if you're taking iron, you avoid taking things like antacids, such as proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole or Pepcid, Tagamet. All these things decrease the ability of the iron to be absorbed. When you're taking iron, it helps to take it with orange juice or to take it with vitamin C, because these help to increase the absorption of iron overall and then increase its effectiveness. Because iron deficiency anemia could also be associated with chronic and ongoing malaria, it's very important that if one has the symptoms of anemia, including the fatigue, tiredness, pallor, and all these symptoms described, that you screen for causative diseases, infections, and associated things such as malaria and or peptic ulcer disease, which could be associated with chronic and ongoing blood loss. I hope these tips were helpful and that you try and, as much as possible, maintain a healthy diet to take care of iron deficiency anemia. Thank you.
Many thanks for always keeping us updated. And now to our Diasporan of the Moment with Shaliwa Ajila presenting.
Zara is a Nigerian lecturer and PhD student of engineering at the University of Aberdeen in Scotland. Zara won the coveted European Drilling Engineering Innovation Award. The judges were blown away by her presentation on a novel approach for wellbore strengthening, according to the report, which earned her the top rank among the nominees. Zara was a PhD student at the University of Aberdeen School of Engineering. She was selected after innovation was reviewed based on its impact to the engineering industry. The award came with a €5,000 cash prize and attendance at 2 DEAE meetings with paid travel and accommodation expenses in June 2020. Her presentation on a novel approach for wellbore strengthening wowed the judges and secured her the top spots amongst the nominees. The University of Aberdeen said, "The School of Engineering would like to congratulate PhD student Zara Ibrahim, who was selected as the winner of the inaugural European Drilling Engineering Association Drilling Engineering DEAE Innovation Award, which comes with €5,000 cash prize and attendance at 2 DEAE meetings with paid travel and accommodation expenses in June 2019. All applications were reviewed based on their innovation relevance to the DEAE and impact to the industry, and the steering committee agreed that Zara's presentation scored high in all three categories. She is a role model for excellence and innovation in engineering. Congratulations, Zara. We celebrate you as our Diaspora of the Moment.
And that has been the Diaspora for this week. Join us same time next week. And I remain your host, Koinsala Adetumbi. Bye for now.